And your mind has to be stronger than your emotion. Your mind has to be stronger than your anger, right? If you think of the worst decisions you've ever made, they're usually being guided by emotion, not the mind, not logic. It's usually emotion, right? You have, for example, prisoners, right? People sitting in a prison cell right now because they made permanent decisions based on temporary feelings, temporary emotions. They got angry and they did something that, led them to be imprisoned. I'm reminded I'm reminded of an old Japanese uh fable, right? It's a Japanese samurai. And this Japanese samurai, he was given the task of avenging his overlord's death, right? His ruler, right? You have a Japanese samurai who was given this duty. You need to avenge the murder of your overlord, right? Your ruler, your boss, pretty much, right? And it was his responsibility to find the man that killed his lord, right? And kill him, right? It's a revenge story. And this Japanese samurai was known for being lethal, right? There's different variations of this fable. The samurai had no emotional attachment to the job, right? To him, it was just business, right? So he was tasked to finding this man that killed his overlord, and he's supposed to find him and kill him, right? Again, to him, it's just business, right? Nothing personal. So he finally finds the man who's responsible for the death of his overlord, and he pins him against a corner. He has a samurai sword, right? The Japanese samurais has a sword, and right before he's about to strike him, right at that second that he's about to kill him, he's taking out his samurai sword, right? He's taking it out to slash him. And the man who killed his overlord is looking at the Japanese samurai, and he spits on his face, right? As a last act of retaliation, he spits on the samurai's face, right as he's taking his samurai sword out, right? Right as he's taking his sword out, the guy spits on the samurai. He just, the amount of disrespect is unbelievable, right? When somebody spits on your face, that's next level. So the he's about to finish him off. He feels the spit on his face. And what he does is he gets his samurai sword, he puts it back in, he puts it away, and then he leaves. He doesn't kill him. He just leaves. Right? And later when he's asked, well, why didn't you kill him? You were given this task to avenge your overlord, your boss, your ruler. You've done this a million times. And when the time came, you let the guy live. Why didn't you kill him? Right? And the Japanese samurai said, I couldn't kill him because I was angry. Do you see what I'm saying? He knew that he couldn't act out of anger. You can act with anger, but you can't act out of anger. He understood, if I kill him, now it's personal, right? Whereas before it was all just business. After that spit, right? Now it's personal. Now he has an emotional charge. And he understood that you can't let anger take over. When it does, you just have to either walk away or you let it sit, right? You maintain composure, you maintain frame, but you don't act out of anger, right? The Japanese samurai understood that here's the thing, when you have therapists, right? You have therapists that tell you need to let the anger out, right? They tell you that if you have anger, that you need to vent it, right? You have to vent out the energy. That's what they tell you, right? That if you express the energy, if you express the anger, you get rid of it, right? Get it out of get it out of your system. They say get the anger out of your system. When you express anger, you're not getting it out of your system. You're feeding the monster, right? That expression of anger isn't letting the anger out. It's just energizing the anger. It's making it worse, right? This is the Japanese samurai understood that when you act out of anger, you're creating a pattern, right? You're conditioning yourself to act out of anger. Venting out the anger, expressing the anger, doesn't make it go away. You're just feeding the monster. You're making it worse, right? You're energizing anger. You're giving it momentum when you express it, right? You're not venting it out. You're not getting rid of it. You're energizing it. You're making it worse, right? All you're doing is you're giving it temporarily relief.